Okay, so I just wanted to show you a really cool use for the sources panel. So if we look here, we've got 6 different images that I've taken of a particular ground texture. And my aim is to composite these into one big high-resolution texture. And it's incredibly easy to design this texture and also make it seamless using the sources panel. So to begin with then, I'll go to File, New, and we're on a web preset here, which is good because we're working in pixels. I want to create a texture that's 4096 by 4096, so it's a 1:1 aspect ratio, and click OK. Then what I want to do is move back to the first image I've got open, go to View, Studio, and bring up the Sources panel here. Okay, so with the Sources panel open and with my current image selected, I can add a new source here. But that's not all we need to do. We also need to select the clone brush here. And once we have the clone brush active, we can double click on the source and set a source point, basically. So let's click here to set a source point, and it will indicate it here. Then we'll also add the same image again, double click, and add a source point down here. Now then, here's the thing. I'm going to go to File and Close. So we're done with that image. Then I'll go to the next image, add it as a source, select the clone brush tool, double click, let's add somewhere in the middle here. And once again, I'll go to File and Close. Select the third image, and you know the drill by now, add it as a source, select the clone brush tool, double click, and let's set a point over here. Let's add another one from this image. So we'll add another global source, double click it, and let's pick a point over here. Again, File, Close. Next image. Add another global source, select the clone brush, double click, and once again we'll add 2 from this image. And hopefully you'll get the gist, without me narrating, of what I'm going to do to the last 2 images here. Okay, so we are done with all the original images. And that's another key thing, that we don't have to have all of those images open in Photo to be able to use them or clone from them with the Sources panel. So then, I'm now left with a blank document. I can create a new pixel layer. That's key, otherwise we have nothing to clone onto. Select the Clone Brush tool, and I'm going to significantly increase the brush width and also take the hardness down to 0%. This will help immensely in blending between all these different source images. So let's start. I'll click the first source and just click drag to begin painting it onto the new document. Then I'll select the second source down here and once again start painting in this corner. And I'll pick the third source, start painting in the middle. Don't worry if you can see the visible edge. We can quickly go over that with another image. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just building up layers and creating a composite texture from many different sources. Okay, so in pretty much under a minute, we've actually knocked up an entirely new texture just using sources from different images. But here's the other great thing. I can make the texture seamless within Photo as well. So under Filters, Distort, I can find the Affine filter. And what we want to do here is set the offset X and Y to 50% either way, and then click Apply. Okay, so effectively we've shifted the texture coordinates 50% on the X and Y axis, and what that now means is that we can see the visible joins. So now that we can see them, that means we can use our clone sources to go over them and remove the visible seams. And I'm just doing a bit of a rush job here, but you can really take the time to ensure that you have a texture that looks intelligible. What I mean by that is that the areas you've added in to make it look seamless make sense. They don't look out of place. They work in the context of the overall texture. Okay, I think I'll leave it there rather than spend more time on it. Having said that, I'll just go over here. But hopefully that gives you the general idea of how you can use the Sources panel to basically create or prototype seamless textures really quickly. And again, if we go back to the Affine filter up here, you can actually scrub the offset value in real time. So that just helps you give a better idea of what your texture looks like when it's repeated or tiled. Okay, well I hope that's given you some inspiration on how you can use Photo in your texture creation workflow if you're into that type of thing for 3D rendering and so on. If you have any questions or queries, please do ask on the Affinity forums, and don't forget to check out the other video tutorials. Thank you for watching.